What if AI could broker peace where politics fail? In the Middle East, machine learning isn't just predicting the future, it's shaping it. Could AI succeed where humans falter? This is Diplomacy Reimagined, and it's pure AI dope.
Today, we're diving headfirst into a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit unnerving: AI diplomacy. Specifically, we're looking at how the U.S. is using AI to navigate its complex relationships with the Gulf states.
Yeah, it's like we're watching a whole new kind of great game unfold, and AI is the name of the game this time.
And the stakes are high. I mean, did you know that Saudi Arabia recently hosted a massive AI summit that drew major tech companies from both the U.S. and China? It's like they're sending a clear signal that they want to be major players in this new AI-powered world.
Oh, absolutely. Saudi Arabia and the UAE, they see the writing on the wall. They know the world is moving away from fossil fuels, and they're not about to be left behind.
So they're basically using their oil wealth to invest heavily in AI, right?
Exactly. Think of it as a strategic pivot. They're leveraging their resources to attract AI investment and transform their economies for the future.
And it seems like U.S. tech companies are eager to get in on the action. I mean, we've got OpenAI CEO talking about multi-trillion-dollar investments with UAE investors. And Amazon just dropped a cool $5.3 billion on data centers in Saudi Arabia.
It's a huge opportunity, no doubt. But, and this is where things get a little more complicated, U.S. policymakers are also starting to worry about the potential risks of sharing cutting-edge AI technology with these countries.
So it's not just about the economic benefits. There are geopolitical concerns as well.
Oh, absolutely. The U.S. wants to strengthen ties with the Gulf states, partly as a way to counter China's growing influence in the region. But there's this tension, this fear that these powerful AI tools could end up being misused.
Okay, I'm starting to see the dilemma here. It's like the U.S. wants to have its cake and eat it too. They want to support American companies and boost their diplomatic leverage, but they're also worried about the potential consequences.
It's a tough balancing act, and it really highlights this emerging field of AI diplomacy where technology is becoming a central tool in international relations.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools: video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works. Always growing. Live Google Sheet. Always free. AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
So AI is no longer just this futuristic concept.
Yeah.
It's already shaping global power dynamics in profound ways.
And that's why it's so important for us to understand these trends and engage in these conversations, because the choices we make today about AI will have a ripple effect for years to come.
It's like we're at a crossroads, and the decisions we make now will determine what kind of future we end up with.
And those decisions shouldn't be made in a vacuum. We need public awareness, informed debate, and citizen engagement to ensure that AI is used for good, not just for geopolitical maneuvering or corporate profit.
Well said. It's clear that AI is a game changer, and we all have a role to play in shaping its trajectory.
Absolutely. The future is not predetermined. It's something we can actively shape through our actions and our voices. It really is a tightrope walk. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, it makes sense to try and control the spread of this kind of powerful AI tech, especially if there's a chance it could fall into the wrong hands.
But if the U.S. totally clamps down on access to these AI chips, wouldn't that just backfire? I mean, wouldn't it just push the Gulf states closer to China? And that seems like the opposite of what the U.S. wants.
It's tough, yeah. It's a real dilemma. And it sort of brings to light this whole new dimension of diplomacy that we're seeing emerge, AI diplomacy. It's not just about traditional diplomacy anymore. It's about using AI strategically to build alliances, to try and shape global norms and standards, and yeah, to counter the ambitions of rivals like China.
So AI is basically becoming like this new kind of currency in international relations, like a bargaining chip.
Yeah, in a sense, access to that advanced AI, especially the hardware, the computing power that's needed to train these massive AI models, it's definitely becoming a major factor in these geopolitical negotiations.
And it seems like the Gulf states are in a really strong position here. They've got the oil wealth, the capital, the land, all the things that both the U.S. and China need to fuel their AI ambitions. Couldn't they play both sides and come out on top?
Oh, they definitely could. They're savvy, and they're in a position to get concessions from both sides. But for the U.S., it means walking a very fine line, trying to support American companies, trying to control the flow of sensitive technologies, and at the same time, building trust with partners who, well, maybe they haven't always been the most reliable.
So it's not about dictating terms or expecting everyone to just fall in line with U.S. priorities anymore?
No, not at all. I think that era is over. These Gulf states, they want to be major players in the AI game, not just pawns.
Right. They have their own agendas.
Exactly. And I think that means the U.S. needs to adopt a more nuanced, maybe more collaborative approach, moving away from the zero-sum mentality, because there will be areas of cooperation with China, even as there's competition. It's about finding those win-win scenarios, the ones where American companies can thrive, sensitive technologies are protected, and the Gulf states feel like their own ambitions are being supported.
It makes me wonder about the role of everyday citizens in all of this. AI is having this huge impact on global power dynamics, but most people probably aren't even aware of these kinds of conversations that are happening behind the scenes. So, what can regular people do? How can they make sure this all goes in the right direction?
You're right. There's a real need for greater public awareness and engagement. This AI diplomacy, it shouldn't be happening in this black box. I think people can start by just educating themselves about the issues, understanding what's at stake, who the players are, what are the potential risks and benefits, and then, talking about these things with friends, family, colleagues. The more people who are aware and engaged, the better.
It's almost like we're watching the rules of the game being rewritten in real time. And it's not clear who's going to come out on top in this new AI-powered world.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important for everyday people to be paying attention to all of this. We can't just leave these decisions about AI and its impact on the world to governments and corporations. We need informed citizens who are willing to speak up and demand responsible development and use of this technology.
Okay, but how do we do that? It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the complexity of it all and just kind of tune it out.
You're right, it can be overwhelming. But even small actions can make a difference. Supporting organizations that are working on AI, ethics, governance, and policy is a great place to start.
So basically finding those groups and amplifying their voices.
Exactly. And just talking about these issues with your friends, family, and colleagues, raising awareness, getting people thinking about the implications of AI, the more people who are engaged in these conversations, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new AI-powered world.
It all comes back to that idea of informed citizenship, right? We can't just be passive consumers of technology. We need to be actively involved in shaping its future.
Absolutely. And that means asking tough questions, demanding transparency, and holding our leaders accountable for the choices they make. The future of AI isn't something that's already been decided. It's something that we can shape collectively through our actions and our voices.
This has really been a wake-up call for me. I feel like I have a much better understanding of what's at stake and what we can do to make sure AI is used for good.
That's great to hear. And remember, you're not alone in this. There are so many people out there who are passionate about ensuring a positive future for AI. AI and diplomacy isn't the only place government is utilizing new tech. Click this next video to see how none other than the CIA has begun using AI in ways that go far beyond AI dope.